Hello students and welcome to Crash Course 2.0 Learn to Grow. And today our lesson is fractions addition. In simple word, today we shall learn how to add fractions. So let's begin. We all know how to add like fractions. Let's say I'm giving two like fraction, it would be 1 by 4 plus 2 by 4. The answer is going to be 3 by 4. How do you get this? If you have watched my part 1 of fraction video, you have learned over there about fractions having two parts, and these are called numerator N-U-M-E-R-A-T-O-R divided by denominator, that is D-E-N-O-M-I-N-A-T-O-R, which means a given fraction has a two part, numerator the top part and denominator the down part divided by a line. So in this case, we have 1 by 4 and 2 by 4, and they are like fraction because they have the same denominator, 4 and 4. So when you add two like fractions or any of them, you simply keep the denominator as it is without changing nothing about it, like 4 in this case, and you simply add the numerator like we have here, 1 plus 2 to give me 3, and thus giving us answer 3 by 4. So with this, you have learned how to add like fractions. Very simple, yes? Okay. If you don't know by now, we also call this 3 by 4 as a proper fraction, a type of fraction indeed. Now why do you call it? Because in this case, the numerator numerical value n is less than denominator value, like 3 by 4, because we know the number 3 is less than number 4. So we have 3 by 4 to be a proper fraction. Similarly, improper fraction means just the opposite of it, that is where you have the numerator to be greater than denominator. Example could be, let's say, 5 greater than 3, so it could be 5 by 3 and whatnot. Okay, you also have something called a mixed fraction. Let's say something like 1 3 by 5, where you have a whole number plus a fraction with it, the same like writing 1 plus 3 by 5. Okay, we shall learn in the video further about how to convert mixed to improper and improper to mixed and so on, and how to add those numbers as well. But for now, first we must remember to learn about how to add unlike fraction. So let's see. Given to us a question, Borat the farmer planted rice on 1 by 2 of his farm and the corn on 1 by 4 of it. So what fraction of the farm has rice and corn is our question. Let's imagine a given area for us. He divides into half, again into half. The first portion is 1 by 2 for his rice, he planted rice on that, and 1 by 4 on the other area for the corn. So this basically shows a graphical understanding of the diagram of the question, yes? But tell me, how do you know these two terms 1 by 2 and 1 by 4 are unlike fraction? We know them because they have a different denominator, 2 and 4, they're not same, yes? So how do you add them? First, keep in mind, a fraction of uneven parts cannot be named, okay? So to add unlike fraction, we must first change them to like fraction. Very simple. We have 2 and 4 in this case. We have to make them both have x, for example, some x. So it's like something of by x plus something by x to help us add them like fraction. That's our job. Now how do we do that? We can do that by two given steps. The first step is called find the equivalent fraction, okay? And in this case, a 1 by 2. So you're going to have here 1 into 2 by 2 into 2 is equal to 2 by 4, and thus this is the area for that, as you can see here. The same area is divided into 2 halves to give me 2 by 4 and 1 by 4 here, and now as you can see that both of them are having 4 4, that's a common denominator. And now add them like fractions, that is, now you can simply add them as 2 by 4 plus 1 by 4 to give me 3 by 4, and this area is the answer for that. Okay, very simple. Thus the answer is going to be 3 by 4 of the farm is planted with rice and corn. Wonderful. Now, keep one thing in mind. This kind of problem is called a word problem. Meaning, a word problem is basically a real life application based problem where you have a proper application of real world where you use math. As you can see in this problem, they have talking about a real farmer who is planting rice and corn and helping him add his field, how much he has grown. Yes. Okay, so how do you solve a normal word problem for any math question? Number 1 step, understand the question. Number 2 step, look at the numbers that I've given to you, like 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 1 by 4 in this case, and then see what do they want you to do. Should you add them or what should you do? Here the word and indicate that we have to add them, isn't it? Yes. And then you can use a graphical way of understanding it much better way, and then move on to solving it step by step and finally get the answer. And the most important, don't leave your answer till here. You have to further write down the answer in terms of word, because in terms of a proper sentence, because the question is in terms of word. So you can answer by saying 2/4, which is the real answer for you, and just copy the last line of your question. Yes? So in this way is how you solve word problems. Keep this in mind. It can help you a lot in your math problems and homework as well. And with this, let's solve 2 more questions based on adding unlike fractions. Let's move on. Given to us 2/5 plus 1/4, what the answer would be. 2/5 is going to be 4/10 and so on until 8/20. So we have 20 as the denominator, as you can see here easily. And then we have similarly 1/4 to be 2/8 and so on to 5/20. And in this way, you might say, how are you getting this answer? If you haven't watched my part 1 video fractioned, we're talking about equivalent fraction in general. Here basically what happens is we take the given fraction to us, we multiply by the same number, in this case 2 here, in both numerator and denominator to give us a required answer. And this is our equivalent fraction of 2/5. And we go on doing it until we get an answer where we have the common denominator for both of them, like 20 in this case. But this method is quite tedious, isn't it? So you have to go on doing it until you get the common denominator. Is there a better way to solve this? Yes, there is. And that way is called finding the LCM of 5 and 4. So what this means, well, how do we approach this question and how do we solve it? To find an equivalent fraction with a common denominator, we can first find the LCM of the denominator. What this means? It simply means that we take the denominator of the 2 unlike fraction, that is 5 and 4, we find the LCM of them, let the answer be x for example. This is going to be our common denominator in this case, and then move on to solving or changing both of them to x, okay? Both of them should have x, and then simply adding them up, okay? Very simple. Now to solve this question, you must do LCM. So how do you find out the LCM of 2 given numbers, okay? So now I can talk about, before I move on with this question, I'm going to teach you how to find out the LCM of 2 given numbers using the common division method, okay? This is given 2 numbers, 16 and 20. I divide them with a common factor, let it be 2, the smallest one, which is a prime number of course. Divide by 16 is going to give me 8. Then 10, because we know 2 8s are 16 and 2 10s are 20. Yes? Now I can have here 2 4s are and then 2 5s are. Can I go further? Of course I can't, because 4 and 5 are co-prime numbers. Now what are co-prime numbers, my friend? Co-prime numbers means are those numbers which has a common factor as only 1. Let's take a 2 number, let's say 6 and 12. 6 is going to be 1, then 2, then 3 and 6, and 12 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, isn't it? Anything else we have? You have 12 as well. 4, yes, correct, 6, correct. So we have, in this case, we have 1 common factor, 2 common factor, 3 and even 6. As you can see here, for a given number 6 and 12, it has 4 different common factors, or should I say 3 different common factors other than 1, meaning that it is having more common factors. So this is not a co-prime number. But a number like 5 and 4 example, they only have factors 1 and 5, and this has factors 1, 2 and 4, so they only have 1 as a common factor, and thus this both pair is for co-prime numbers. And to be honest, if you know what are consecutive numbers, consecutive numbers, C-O-N-S-E-C-U-T-I-V numbers, okay, it's S here, consecutive numbers, any 2 consecutive numbers are always co-prime. Let's say 1 2 for example, or you can say 2 3, or you can say 3 4, or 4 5 in our example. All of these are, what are these? These are co-prime numbers, yeah? So why do we need to know all of this thing in the moment? Because we want to be able to find LCM. If for any normal number like 2, 4, or maybe let's say 16, 20, or even any number as such, you can easily find LCM using this method as I've shown you here. This method is called common division method. But for a number like 4 and 5, which are co-prime number, all that you have to do to find out the LCM is multiply them. 2 into 5 is equal to 20. So thus 20 is LCM. Very simple. And we feel this is difficult to remember, it's difficult, it's complex for you to understand how it's been formed and so on, then very simple, all that you have to do is simply do as you normally do the LCM and get the answer. Okay, so in this case again we have this L-shaped portion given to me in this portion, that is 2 2 5 1 1. How I have got that, because even though I can't divide them together commonly, I have taken one by one because 5 remains as it is. So 2 2s are 4, then I have again taken 2 here to give me 1 here, then 5 to give 1 1. Thus my answer is 20. So in both the way I'm getting 20. So I feel that this method is more easy because it's more direct, and now I simply have to do is one thing, that is multiply them by some numerator and denominator to get 20. Yeah. So I've given to us 2 by 5 and you want to get 20 as denominator. You simply multiply numerator as 4 by 4 and even denominator by 4 to give me 8 by 20. Same for other number, I have here 1 by 4, I'm going to do is 1 into 5 by 4 into 5 to give me 5 by 20. Thus the answer is going to be 8 by 20 plus 5 by 20 is equal to 13 by 20. Simple? Yes, wonderful. Okay, so we have solved this method using LCM. We just had to find LCM using the both numbers. We got the answer, change them in one step and get the final answer. But solving both the way you're going to get the answer. Okay, the question is which way you want to follow. Of course, second way is much easy. Therefore, our answer is going to be 2 by 5 plus 1 by 4 is equal to 13 by 20 is the answer. But let's say at times you got to find answer not as 13 by 20 but as 15 by 20. So is this your final answer or no? Can you further change it? Yes, you can change it. The rule simply says that the final answer for any fraction problem should be in its simplest form. Okay, as you can see here, it is not in the simplest form. You can further divide this by doing 5 3s and then 5 4s to give me 3 by 4. So that I can say now my answer should be 3 by 4 and not 15 by 20. But in this case, because 13 and 12 are co-prime numbers, as you can see, they only have common factor as 1. You leave it as it is. Very simple. I shall learn soon about how to convert or change mixed to improper, improper to mixed as well. So I hope this question is clear for you. Let's solve one more question using LCM to make it very clear for us and be thorough with the concept. Okay. So given to us here is 1 by 6 plus 3 by 4. How to get the answer? Number 1 is to find the LCM. Take both the numbers 6 and 4. The common factor is going to be 2 for sure. So 2 3s are, 2 2s are, yes. So this whole L shape is going to be LCM. So LCM is going to be equal to 2 into 3 into 2. That's equal to 12. Very simple. So LCM of 6 and 4 is 12. Wonderful, yes. So now add them up. We have got here 1 by 6, so 1 into 2 by 6 into 2 equals 12 by 12. Wonderful. What I have done here is I multiplied 6 with 2 equal to 12. So multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. And similarly, we have got a 3 by 4 to give me 9 by 12. That is simply multiplying 4 into 3 equal to 12. And so multiply both numerator and denominator by 3. Therefore, 2 by 12 plus 9 by 12 is equal to 11 by 12. The answer. The answer is given to you. Very simple. So is this two numbers in the simplest form or the lowest form? Yes, they are, because they only have common factor 1 and you can't reduce them further, and neither they are improper because as you can see here, the numerator is less than the denominator. Yes, very simple. If the sum of two or more fractions is an improper fraction, then change the improper fraction to a mixed fraction. Here we shall learn how to convert or how to change improper to mixed and also vice versa. Given to us a question, Vinita walked 3/4 of a kilometer and jogged 2/3 of a kilometer. How far did she go? So we have to add 3/4 plus 2/3 to get the answer. And as you know, number 4 and number 3, they are co-prime numbers. Thus, the LCM of the two numbers is going to be 4 into 3 is equal to 12. Yes? Okay. Thus, we're going to have here now. We convert now 3/4, let's say, to 12. We're going to do into 3s to give you 9 by 12. And similarly, 2/3 to convert to 12 as denominator is going to into 4 to give me 8 by 12. Thus, we have 9 by 12 plus 8 by 12 to give me 17 by 12. And the rule says that whenever we write down the final answer, the two conditions should be met. The first condition is that the final answer must be in the lowest term or lowest simplified form. And number 2, the answer must be in mixed fraction and not improper fraction. So if the answer is improper fraction, with the example of, let's say, 15 by 20, then convert it into the simplest form, 3 by 4, and like that we have the answer. Even 13 by 20 we saw in the first question was also correct. But if you have improper fraction, like in this case 17 by 20, 20 by 12, sorry, then convert them into a mixed fraction. Okay, now the question is how they convert that. So given to us here 17 and 12. So keep in mind that we can call the 12 as our divisor. Yes, it's called divisor. And we're going to get some answer over here that's called quotient. And 17 is called dividend. What are dividing here? D-I-V-I-D-E-N-D. Okay, even D is there at the end. D-N-D. And let's divide it now. As per 12 1 over 12 to give me remainder as 5. Now this 5 is called my remainder. Okay, it's called remainder. Yes, fine then. We have got the answer now in terms of 1, 5 by 12. Yes, we have 5 as remainder, 12 as divisor, and 1 as quotient, and 17 as dividend. So this means that if we have improper fraction, like in this case 17 by 12, our answer is going to be 1, 5 by 12 as a mixed fraction. Okay, so we have got improper fraction in this case, and here we have got our mixed fraction. And hope it is clear to you how to convert them into improper to mixed. I could also write down this mixed fraction as 1 plus 5 by 12. Mixed basically means a case where you have numerator to be greater than denominator, and which means that you're having a more than whole, isn't it? Whole means 1. Therefore answer is now 17 by 12 is equal to 1 5 by 12. Answer, Vinita went 1 5 by 12 kilometer. We have now learned how do we convert improper fraction to mixed fraction. Let's talk about adding mixed numbers or mixed fraction. How do we add them? Given to us, the painters used 3 1 by 2 liters of white paint and 2 1 by 4 liters of blue paint. How much paint did they use in all? So we have to add the two numbers. To add the mixed numbers or mixed fraction, we have to change them to improper fraction first. Okay? Because why do you have to do that? As you can see clearly, we have numbers as 3 1 by 2 plus 2 1 by 4. We have to add them. How do you add them? Because you know this is going to be 3 plus 1 by 2, isn't it? Then plus 2 plus 1 by 4. Just adding them just like that is not possible. So we have to convert the mixed fraction to improper fraction. So now we have seen how we convert 17 by 12, example was there for us, into 1 5 by 12, which was a mixed number. Now let's learn now how to do vice versa. Okay, change to improper fraction. So we're going to have here 7 by 2 plus 9 by 4. How do we get this? When you have the number 17 by 12, we wrote its mixed number to be as 1 5 by 12. Now tell me, if I had only this number, how could I have got improper fraction? I have simply done here is I have multiplied 12 into 1 plus 5 divided by 12. Correct? That is same like saying I wrote the divisor 12 as it is in the denominator. I multiply divisor with 1. What is 1? 1 is our quotient, and plus 5 that is the remainder. So our simple method is going to be, let me write down here, divisor in the denominator always, okay, and then you're going to have a divisor here, this is di, into our quotient q plus remainder r, and that's the formula. So now we have here is 3 1 by 2. So this is going to be simply going to be here 3 into 2 plus 1 divided by 2, that's equal to 6 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 7 by 2. And that's what we have got here. Very simple, yes. Similarly, now we have here 2 1 by 4. Correct? So 2 into 4 plus 1 divided by 4, giving me 2 4 is 8 plus 1, that's 9 by 4. And that's what we have got here. So hope it's clear for you how to convert improper fraction to mixed fraction and mixed fraction to improper fraction. Very simple, yeah. Now you can add them easily. Very simple. How to do it? Using LCM method. Yes. Then get now 14 by 4 plus 9 by 4. How do you get this? We took both the denominator 2 and 4 We found out the LCM, that is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are. We took this whole thing as LCM, giving us 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So our LCM is equal to 4. So we converted the first LCM, we converted the first denominator to 4, but the second was the same, so no need to change at all. So we simply made 7 by 2 into 2s are to give me 14 by 4, and simply added both of this to give me 23 by 4. We have got the answer, but is it enough? No. Now as we have got the answer, we have to convert now the improper fraction to mixed fraction. Now why? Because the rule says that we have to convert the final answer if you have got it to improper to mixed fraction. Yes? So you can convert them how? Same way, we're going to take 4 divided by 23, and you're going to have your 23. Yes? And as per 4 5s are 20, giving the remainder as 3, and keep in mind 4 is a divisor, 5 is a quotient, 23 is a dividend, and 3 remainder. So answer is going to be equal to, tell me fast, it's going to be 5 quotient and then 3 by 4. Let's check it out. Yeah, changing going to give us 5 3 by 4. Wonderful, very simple. Yes, okay. And that was our answer. So the painters use 5 3 by 4 liters of the paint. I hope it's very clear to you how to convert improper to mixed numbers, then mixed to improper, and also how to add like fractions, unlike fractions, mixed fractions as well, and even improper fraction. Everything has been covered in this given video. So if you have any doubts so far about addition, still you have doubt, let me know in the comments down below. Comment me down, I have doubt in this part, this portion, I want more questions. Let me know in the comments below and I shall help you out for sure, okay? So with this, let's see what we have learned today. Today we have learned addition of fraction. We have learned how to add like fractions, how to add unlike fractions, how to add a proper fraction as well, and also how to add improper fraction, and also how to add mixed fraction, and how to convert improper to mixed, mixed to improper. And the whole thing about addition of fraction in general is being covered in this given video. And plus, if you have remembered, we also learned about something called co-prime numbers, what this means, and also LCM, and also we learned about 2 simple rules which was keep in mind when writing and finding out the final answer. We also learned that for a given fraction, the final answer must have 2 conditions satisfied. Number 1 condition, it must be in the lowest term or lowest form, okay? And number 2 condition, if it is in the improper fraction, that answer must be converted to mixed fraction. Yes? So with this, thank you so much for watching my video so far and supporting me. And today I'm so proud of you. Today you have learned so much and you are now a real math genius of addition chapter of fraction, okay? So please do watch my fractions part 2 for subtraction and other things coming up soon. Till then, keep learning and thank you so much for watching my video. If you have liked this video of mine, please do share it to your friends. They can learn fractions as well, like how you have learned today. And I'm sure with today's lesson, you are fully thorough with fractions addition, isn't it? Now you are a real math genius. You know how to add, like, unlike, proper, improper, and even mixed fraction in general. And with this, thank you again, and please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet to see the next coming up math videos soon enough. And till then, study and well done.